everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So I've got September's numbers to discuss today, as well as how the first week of October went. So jumping right in, September's numbers, I think they're a little bit skewed, but they are what they are, so I'm going to report on them as they are and discuss it. So September of 2024, last year, our average price was $981,000. This September, they came in at $1,250,000. So this is a 27% increase. I think any realtor will tell you that this is not accurate to how the market is feeling right now. We had a lot of high ticket products sell, and the lower stuff was not moving as rapidly. So I think that correlated to our average price being higher. I did think based on what was selling, we were going to see it rise, but just not to this level. Like, of the properties that sold, so of the 59 units, 5 of them were over 2 million and 2 of them were over 3 million. So you can imagine how that really pulls up our average price. So I will caution you to look at September's average price and not be like, oh my gosh, things are going up. They fundamentally have, but it does not feel like that in this market. The good news for the higher ticket properties is that clearly some of them are moving, but right now I would not think that our prices are up 27%. And I'll talk a little bit about that later, because I think the price reductions in the properties coming off the market tell a different story. The other notable thing is that we only sold 59 units in September. It felt like a lot more than that. It felt way busier. Last September we sold 56. Fine. I thought we were going to be back up to the 80s, 90s, and it just didn't pan out that way. We had a really strong August in terms of units, but the prices in September are clearly much higher than they were in the summer. So even with the low units, that is quite a high price. So I'm really curious how October pans out. The market feels like prices are going down, especially in our lower price point stuff, but it feels busier than 59 units. So we'll see how this month goes. Last week in Georgetown, we only had 8 sales, so that is not a huge week for Georgetown, and we had 15 new listings. So the new listings have sort of slowed down, but it's still higher than the sales. We haven't seen sales really skyrocket the last few weeks. In Acton this week, we had 3 sales and 3 new listings. There was no sales in Glen Williams and 2 new listings, and no sales in the rural market and 1 new listing. Something notable that I sort of want to touch on, which reflects back to our average price in September, is we had so many properties like terminate, relist, all of those things. So there was 16 properties last week that came off the market and relisted at a lower price. That's a lot. 16 in a week is a lot. More notably, we had 21 properties exit the market last week. That tells you that the market is not good and that the people are not getting the numbers they want for their house. That is what that is telling you. So we actually saw inventory decrease this week. Amazing. But it is because people exited the market, because it is not good out there. The prices are coming down. You can see all of those people doing price reductions. And we had like a lot. That's a lot of people exiting the market. So even though I have to report that our average price is up, I do not think that is reflective of the market we are in at all. Now looking at active inventory, we're actually down from 289 active listings to 281. So we did see a reduction this week. I've talked about the last few weeks how we need to see inventory slow down. It would be nice if people can exit the market, and that's exactly what happened this week. And so that helped overall inventory levels. They're still extremely high, but yeah, it was just a more refreshing week to not have hit that 300 like I was worried we were going to. Looking at price points this week, under 800,000 is down to 25 active listings. 800 to a million is up to 45. 1 to 1.5 million is also up to 76, and 1.5 million plus remain the same at 20. So all of our pockets, except for that 1.5 million plus, in my opinion, are sitting extremely high for what we are used to seeing. So it will be refreshing if we can start to see those lower price point properties moving to really like stir things up again. Acton this week is down slightly from 38 to 35 active listings. Glen Williams remained the same at 12, and the rural market remained the same at 68. So overall this week, it's a bit of a confusing update between saying prices are up, but then saying like, hey, everybody's leaving the market. So we are in a weird market. Like I said, good news for the higher ticket buyers or the higher ticket sellers is that it appears some of the buyers are out right now. But what we really need to see is, and this is what keeps our market moving, especially, is our opening price point stuff moving more. And that's just not the case right now. So October is going to be interesting. I think that we should see a strong October. It feels like the buyers are out right now. I don't know how the numbers came in so low, especially on the units. So we'll have to see what happens in October. Have a great week, everyone.